The Indigo disc is out, and while I've beaten the main story and I'm now grinding for those blueberry points in order to find every Unova reference, future video on the way, I don't feel like I've got everything. I feel like just as we knew something was missing from the main game, we know the same now. So hey, I'm not so a strainer and the game is not over. Let's get into it. When we finished the Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet main games, the plot was fully open, with the Scarlet and Violet book serving as a window to what was to come. And now, after the DLC, I feel the same way. Spoilers ahead, of course. During the journey towards the Indigo disc, many people talked about how there could be a DLC 3, and I never thought that would be the case. Well, I still don't now, but there's no denying that something feels like it is missing. The fabled Peach Pokémon, which already has a name that I won't mention here in case someone doesn't want to hear it, but you can check it on Cerebi if you do want to know it, is still not here and will be part of future content for this game, finally giving us an answer to how did it affect the storyline, if it did at all. Kitakami will likely be the home of this thing, considering how that's where we have Peaches and where the whole Loyal 3 plot happened. But the Peach was data mined, there's no questioning that part. But I have a little bit of speculation that, well, it tells me that something else is on the way, either through updates or something that we're missing right now. Briar went to meet her publisher and simply disappeared off the face of the available Earth, just like Yenan and Carmine. While I can see those two in Kitakami for whatever the Peach has for us, they do live there after all, I don't see Briar returning there. Will she be away forever? Gone from Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet when she was such an important character? I find that odd. She should absolutely come back. The same thing with Arven. We interact with one of his parents in-game in this DLC, and when he recognizes the book, we just don't mention that we got it from the professor. That also struck me as odd. And another thing is, I might just have missed it, but I haven't found a way to break through this specific Terra Crystal here in the Area Zero Underdepths. If you have found a stellar Pokemon that is keeping this thing from shattering, let me know in the comments down below, but if there is none, it might be that there's unexplored areas in this neo-crystallized map. And did you think that was all? Well, it isn't. Sada in my case and Turo in the case of all of you that love futuristic stuff, they just don't make sense. They are not the same person. They can't be. They tell us that they have a son named Arven, though they met Koraidon or Miraidon right there for the first time. They're even still calling it Wing King or Iron Serpent. But if we check the research station journals, they wrote, "Our time machine research has yielded a triumph, a Pokemon from the ancient past or distant future. I've named it Koraidon or Miraidon. I was expecting one new life to treasure, but what fortune to be blessed with this gift as well." So, the Pokemon came from the time machine before Arven was born. But Arven has already been born when we meet the professor. They say he is alone. And they probably named those Pokemon the way they did because they met us. So how can that be on a journal that exists from before Arven was born? Unless Arven has a sibling we know nothing about. Whatever the answer, it doesn't make sense, and I'm hoping that we get the string that ties it together through some interesting event, kinda like the one we had in Legends Arceus with Daybreak. Oh, but that's still not all. Many questions are still unanswered in these Gen 9 games, and while they could be answered in a future game, I kinda hope and believe they will do that throughout the year to keep us entertained with Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet. Questions like, who gave Eve the Phantom Memory? Where did the other professor go after they left the crater? Is the one that stayed truly dead? And if so, where are they buried? How can Briar have both Scarlet and Violet book themes when only one technically exists? Who writes the occulture, and how do they know about the other paradox? I'll explore all of this in the future again, but for now, I just want to say once again, the game is not over yet. And that is all I have for you today. There's more waiting for us, but for now, I'll just go back to the Blueberry Academy to grind for some BP. But what about you? Do you think we'll ever know the answers? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content, and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. You can follow me on social media and Twitter in there Wednesday to Friday, all the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.